Hi, Steve. This is Frida.
Hey, Frida, good to see you again. I think you've been on before, haven't you?
Correct. Uh-huh.
Okay. So today's topic is about best practices when dealing for sale by owners. And Frida, do you actively go after for sale by owners right now?
No,
You haven't done that before?
I have done it before and did not continue. But unfortunately, with a lot of things, I get started with, but need to pursue more of.
Okay. So I'll show you some quick what I call best practices to help you with this, and you can use one or all of these. The first one is let's see. Okay. First one is do you know? Can you tell me where you've gotten your for sale by owner leads in the past?
Just the website, the for sale by owner websites, Zillow, Craigslist,
Okay.
online, just searching.
So I get them primarily through Zillow, and this is in most 95, 99% of the time. For sale by owners like to use Zillow. That's their first choice. And it's important that we understand how Zillow works so that when we do get an opportunity to meet with a for sale by owner, we can explain that very important fact to them, that Zillow is not really their friend. They're actually using them as bait for acquiring leads for their premier agents. And I didn't know if you knew that.
No, not really.
Okay. So next time you go into Zillow and you want to see for sale by owner leads in an area that you're interested in, and when you pull up the homepage for Zillow, you will see in the middle there be a fill-in form for either city, state, address, zip code. And I usually just put zip code in there. And after I put the zip code in, it'll give me tabs above there, and you want to click to the far right. There'll be a tab that says More. If you were to click on the tab that shows all the listings that pop up in your zip code that you're interested in, there's no for sale by owners in that particular list of homes for sale, which is very interesting. So if you go to the far right, there's a tab that says More. And if you click on More, you'll see by owner or or other. And you want to click on for sale by owner, and that's where the for sale by owners are listed. And the for sale by owners don't understand that. They can't understand why the only phone calls they're getting are from real estate agents, and it drives them crazy. So this is going to be the first little teaching lesson that we share with them when we get an opportunity to meet with a for sale by owner. But that's where I get my list of for sale by owner leads to call on. So the first thing I do when I call them is I introduce myself and I apologize, which completely catches them off guard. I say, I apologize. I know I'm probably the umpteenth realtor who's called you today or in the past several days. And they go, well, as a matter of fact, yeah. What's the reason for your call? And I said, well, I just want to put your mind at ease. I'm not trying to list your home for sale. Oh, really? Well, why is that? Well, I have potentially might have some buyers, a buyer or two for your home, or I might have someone in my office who has a buyer for your home. And I was just wondering if it would be all right, maybe next time you're showing your home to someone else, or if you have availability this weekend, I'd love to stop by and for 5 or 10 minutes, I just wanted to shoot a quick little video that I could forward to my potential buyers. And out of 5 for sale by owners I talk to, 1 to 2 will say they'll be on board with it. A lot of them are suspicious, and they'll say, well, if you have a buyer, then give me a call back is typically the answer they get.
Bring me a buyer.
Yeah, bring me a buyer and bring them by. But there are a couple of them, if after you've put their mind at ease that you're not trying to list their home, they will let you in. So when I show up, I share with them 6 quick ideas. I said before, when I introduce myself at the door and I get inside the door, I simply say, look, before I shoot my quick little video, you've been so kind to share with me your home. I was wondering if you'd be interested in me sharing with you 6 quick ideas that would help you sell your home yourself. And they go, and yeah, sure. Quick second. So these are the 6 quick ideas I'll share with a for sale by owner. We'll just sit at the dining room table. And again, this completely disarms the for sale by owner and builds more trust in you. And why are we doing all this? We're doing this. Why do you think, Frida? Why do you think we're doing this?
To build rapport and start gauging how flexible they are to possible other ideas.
I love building rapport. That's the first and foremost. It builds trust, and it gives you they'll probably ask you, why are you helping me sell my home myself? And I will say, well, you're gonna meet a lot of people who are interested in your home, and if there's someone that you think might be a good fit to help them find their home, if your home's not the right fit, maybe you could refer them to me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a reciprocal agreement there that then it starts to make sense to them. But anyway, the 6 quick ideas I share with them, the first one is I actually, before I go in, I'll take my laptop with me and I'll already have their home pulled up on Zillow. And I'll open up the laptop and I'll say, the first point I'll make to them is I'll show them what I just shared with you. Your home is, if you scroll down to the bottom of your listing, you'll see that you have to look hard to find your phone number to call you direct. While at the top, there's that tab that says Contact Agent at the beginning of your description, Mr. Buy Owner. And this is why any potential buyer thinks that this is the agent in charge of selling your home. So they click on that contact agent, who's a premier agent who's paying thousands of dollars to Zillow. And hence, that agent is going to reach out to you, Mr. For Sale by Owner, and that's why you're getting all these calls from realtors. The second thing is, and then I will quick as part of point 1, as I'll go back to the homepage and I'll go to the More tab that we talked about at the very beginning of this conversation today on Agent Huddle. This is the only place they can actually find you if they're really looking for you. Otherwise, they're just going to see the list of homes that are listed for sale by realtors. The reason they're calling you direct is probably because they drove by your sign, your for sale by owner sign, and called you directly, or they somehow stumbled across your ad. But if you want to make Zillow more effective for you, this is the second tip I give them. I want you to, at the very beginning of your description of your property, go ahead and say, for more information and details, please call, and you put your phone number in the very first sentence of your description. Don't let Zillow dictate where your contact information is. And they go, well, that makes a lot of sense. And they really appreciate that tip a lot. So that's the second tip I give them to help them sell their home themselves. The third thing I share with them, I pull out is this flyer. And so, Autumn, if you could post the free for sale by owner advertising websites on the screen, and she's going to pull that up. This also kind of blows the for sale by owners away. They can't believe that there's someplace other than Zillow maybe to advertise their property, and most of these are free. There's some of them that might cost a little bit, but there's basically 11 that are still active on this list that Autumn's trying to post right now. I'll give you a couple of them, and you never would have thought. I mean, it hasn't been talked about in years. Craigslist.com is one you can put on the list. There's a forsaleby.owner.com, which some realtors have heard of. There is some cost involved in that. Trulia.com, you can post there as a for sale by owner. There is FSBO-home.com is another one. There's the list. So there's the list of free for sale by owner websites that the for sale by owner will go, wow. And I'll say, look, if you want to expand your horizons and get more buyers calling you direct, then try some of these websites. So this is, best practice number 3 I share with the for sale by owner. Again, I'm building rapport and I'm building credibility and trust. And someone, I'll say, after I'm finished today, feel free to call me with any questions you might have. Best practice number 4 is something that you might not have heard of this company before, but it's called Forewarn, and that's FOREWARN, forewarn.com. I personally have used this website for many years, and I have put it on a flyer that Forewarn has that you can have printed up and hand to a for sale by owner. But basically, what's amazing is here in Florida, Forewarn is now part of the State Association of Realtors and our MLS here in Florida as a standard feature that we have access to. What Forewarn does is you can put in somebody's name or an address or a phone number, especially if you have their phone number, and you can look to see if they have a criminal background, if they have financial issues in their background, if these are people that you even need to be dealing with. And so I will tell a for sale by owner, look, here's Forewarn. Keep this top of mind anytime you hear from someone and maybe your gut tells you over the phone that you shouldn't let them in your house. Just text me their phone number. More than happy to look them up for you to tell you if they're credible or not. And they really appreciate that because in this day and time, safety and security is really, really top of mind with a lot of folks. And what does that do? It kind of raises a warning in that for sale by owner's mind. Is this really the smartest thing I should be doing? Opening my home up to strangers who call me on the phone and let them into my house. So you've kind of planted a seed by using this particular idea with them. And Autumn, if you want to post that, stick that up there real quick, that Forewarn. This is the flyer I use that I hand out to for sale by owners. And they really, I think of everything, they really appreciate this the most. I said, you can join Forewarn. It's not very expensive, and this is your way to screen out to potential clients. In the past, for my agents, if someone has wanted to meet one of our listings and I have to send one of our agents out there, I will look that person up first. And there have been times in the past where I've called that potential buyer back and said, look, I can't show it to you today. When can I meet you in person? And I'll make sure there's 2 people there instead of just one-on-one. So I personally used it and I highly recommend it. It's a great device. It's a great tool for looking up, even when you're talking to buyers for your own personal use. So I highly recommend you use this with for sale by owners, and they will really appreciate it. The 5th thing I like to share with for sale by owners, which I think is a really good practice, is before you go there, print out a list of the homes that have sold in the neighborhood that are similar to his homes. See if you can get 5, 6, 7 homes that have recently sold if you have to expand your search to past 5 miles or whatever you have to do. But get a list of 5 homes and share that with him and give him the list and say, here, I thought this would help you if anyone asks you how you arrived at your price or, if they're testing you at all for value. You have a way to show them you've done your homework. Here's my list, and feel free to print out this list, Mr. For Sale by Owner, to share it with any of your potential buyers who might come through the door in case they ask. Now, a lot of them might have already done that, but it's amazing how many have not. So best practice number 5, I really highly recommend that you look up a list of previously sold homes that are similar to that for sale by owner's home and share it with them in person. Again, you're building more rapport and more trust. For sale by owner best practice number 6 is another service that you can try if you want. This goes back to a service I use for a variety of reasons. It's called ProQuestTechnologies.com. But I'm going to show you a for sale by owner flyer that Autumn's going to post. And so I offer to the for sale by owner, I will have had my assistant already print this up, and I will have already recorded a message. And what's so unusual about this is that you'll notice that it doesn't give any size, bedrooms, baths, square footage, doesn't give you the price, anything. What it does do is offer a way for a buyer to directly communicate with the seller. They can either call them directly, because if you look at the bottom of the flyer, it says for direct inquiries, contact the owner, and you list their phone number, their direct number. Now, you will really blow the for sale by owner away when you say, here, you feel free to use this. In fact, I've got a take one box. I'll print up your first 10 flyers for you. You stick it in your take one box, and you'll be surprised how many buyers you'll get to call you direct. If you scroll back to the top, you'll see that this is the call to action, 24-hour free recorded information. Well, most buyers don't want to talk to anybody. They're more curious than anything else. So they will call this till the cows come home. And you see the 800 number and the extension. That extension number is direct information about this property. And at the end of the message, it will give the for sale by owners direct contact info that's at the bottom of the flyer a second time. When I share this with for sale by owners, they are really blown away. I've used this for probably over a decade now, and what's really cool about this service is every potential buyer that calls this 800 number and any of the extensions I'm using, whether it's for my own personal listings or for sale by owners, there's a back office, and it gives me the name and the phone number of who called. And I explain that to the for sale by owner. I say, look, these buyers will, I will have a way to forward their names and contact info to you if you want to follow up with them. 9 out of 10 times they go, you know what? You've done such a nice job for me. You follow up with them and I'll pay you whatever. I'll pay you 2% or I'll pay you whatever if you can bring me the buyer. And I have found that this is like cherry on top. They love to see this. And then, of course, when you say, I'll be more than happy to put a take one box in front of your for sale by owner sign and give you the first 10 flyers, and here's the original, and you print them up going forward. They love it. They absolutely love it. And you can find out more about this particular service at ProQuestTechnologies.com. So those are my 6 best practices, as I call them, to interact with for sale by owners when I get the appointment. After I'm done, obviously I take my video, and as an additional bonus, I will actually have my assistant splice the couple of 20-second clips together. Typically, it's just of the living area, the backyard, maybe the owner's suite, that type of stuff. And we'll put it to a quick video of about a minute to minute and a half, and I will send it to the for sale by owner afterwards, and I'll say, here, just post it in Zillow. This might help you get more phone calls, and it doesn't list anything about our company or anything else. So that's kind of an extra bonus that we will do. I find that what's critical going forward after you've done this is that you have to follow up, and follow up some more, because eventually, I'm sure you've seen the percentages. It's very low probability the for sale by owner is going to be able to sell it himself. Who's one of the people he's going to want to interview when he decides, I've had enough of this stuff, I need to get professional help? Well, you're going to be on the list. If you've put all these practices into place, they will contact you, and it'll at least give you an opportunity. In most instances, you're number one, and they're not going to interview anyone else either, because no one else is doing this. No one else has shown that kind of capability and forethought and practice. So those are my best practices when contacting for sale by owners. I will open it to the floor and see if there's anybody out there who has a specific question for me about that process.
Was number one showing them how in Zillow their information is hard to get to?
Yep.
Okay.
Number one is when you walk in with either your iPad or even on your phone, or I always take my laptop in with me because it's a bigger screen, and I will already have their property pulled up on Zillow, and I'll explain to them that, see how hard it is for them to contact you? They got to scroll all the way to the bottom of your description to find your phone number. And most people read the first couple sentences, and if they're interested and they see the price, they have all the information they're looking for, they see that contact agent button immediately to the right, and so they just automatically think it's listed with that agent. And Mr. For Sale by Owner, this is why you're not getting phone calls from buyers. It's all from realtors. And there's a big aha moment. You can see it in their eyes. And that's when I point out to them, just put your phone number in the very first sentence. For more details and to schedule your private preview, call, and you put your phone number. Now, Zillow doesn't like that. This is another little tidbit. Zillow is kind of funny about that. They'll play games with you. They have algorithms that will see that, and they will quietly delete your phone number sometimes. So you have to constantly go into Zillow as a for sale by owner and check your post and make sure your phone number is still up there. And you just play the game. If your phone number's been deleted, put that same phraseology in your phone number into the first sentence again, and I will explain that to them. And it all starts to make sense to them as to what's really going on with Zillow. They think Zillow is the creme de la creme and the go-to to get their home sold, but in reality, they're just bait for their premier agents and acquiring leads for those agents. What other questions are out there? Well, Frida, I appreciate so much you participating and asking some questions and talking to me and everyone else on the call. If you need to reach me at all for any reason, Autumn, more than happy to pass along my contact information. I'm more than willing to talk to anybody at any time to anything specific about anything I shared today. I'll end by saying, even if you don't try and do all of these things, just do one of them. And share that with a for sale by owner, shoot your quick video, and then just stay in touch. After you've got comfortable with doing step one, then add step two. So, and you can just keep adding these things into your repertoire until you've mastered all of them. But just take it a step at a time. Just do one and try and set an appointment with a for sale by owner. And as long as you come across as, I'm not trying to list your home, I'm merely trying to see if I can acquire some buyer leads that might be interested in your home. When can I come take a quick look at it and shoot a quick video? You'll have a lot of pushback from some of them, but some of them will say yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Frida. And thank you to everyone on the call. And thank you, Autumn, for setting this up. Until next time, this is Steve Williams with eXp Realty and the Edgewater Home Team. Talk to you soon.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our eXp organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about eXp or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.